Why ignoring your ex is powerful. Now, when we talk about ignoring an ex after the breakup, we don't mean that we should ignore an ex by refusing to acknowledge his or her presence. Ignoring an ex that way tends to have a negative effect on the dumper, as it hurts the dumper's ego and brings a bad reaction out of him or her. More often than not, it causes the dumper to lose respect for the dumpee and allows him or her to move on with life. That's why ignoring your ex is powerful only when you do it the respectful way, by starting no contact and doing your best to move on. That is the only way to incite envy in your ex and make your ex wonder why you aren't reaching out. So forget about ignoring your ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend with the intention to hurt your ex. Although ignoring might hurt your ex, it won't hurt your ex in the way that you think. Instead of showing your ex you are doing well, it will show you are resentful, hurt, and unhappy, and make your ex want to talk to you even less. By acting mean, all you'll do is prove that you are incapable of conversing like an adult, and as a result, destroy any lingering doubts your ex has about breaking up with you. Many dumpers initially have some doubts as to whether they've made the right decision. But when you ignore your ex, refuse to reply, those doubts will quickly disappear. They'll go up in a blaze because your ex will see that you are highly emotional and acting like a baby. My intention isn't to insult you if you ignored your ex. I just want you to realize that ignoring behavior won't get you very far. It will probably create more issues for you in the long run because you'll develop an understanding that ignoring exes or people who mistreat you is okay and that it yields positive results. You need to know that dumpers fall out of love and don't crave affection and validation. They have too much of it, which is why they can't get desperate for attention when you ignore them. They can only get frustrated and angry and find your behavior unacceptable. The only time you should consider ignoring an ex is after you've asked your ex to leave you alone multiple times after the breakup so that you could heal, or when your ex poses a risk to you and your loved ones. This video is about ignoring your ex the right way. Not by ignoring your ex at all, but by responding confidently in a way that shows you feel neutral about your ex. That is the mature way to handle breadcrumbs, whereas ignoring is manipulative and childish. Now, what are the reasons why ignoring your ex is powerful? Ignoring your ex may be weak, but ignoring your ex with no contact is anything but that. Ignoring your ex with no contact is very powerful. It's actually very powerful because it gives your ex exactly what he or she needs after the breakup. It gives your ex space and time and allows your ex to focus only on his or her wants and needs. Independence is what your ex had been craving for weeks before the breakup. But because your ex didn't want to give up on you too early, your ex prolonged the relationship and stayed unhappy. If your ex talked to you about his or her feelings and sought professional help back then your ex could have found a solution to the problem, repair the broken bond, and fall deeper in love with you. But since your ex lacked the willpower to improve the relationship and focused on your negative points instead, your ex associated negative traits with your persona and decided to quit. He or she burned out emotionally. So imagine how thrilled your ex must be now that your ex can finally get a break from the person he or she thought poorly of for weeks. Your ex must be relieved and happier than he or she has been in a long time. That's why your ex doesn't want to hear from you and talk about getting back together. Your ex is incapable of talking about the breakups or anything related to it because your ex has emotionally checked out a long time ago and just wants to be left alone. Maybe your ex wants to be friends, or maybe your ex doesn't. It doesn't really matter because the relationship has ended and love is gone. So if you don't want to make things worse, ignoring your ex when he or she reaches out won't make that love come back. On the contrary, it will keep it away as it will show you are bitter and not worth returning to. So what do you do when your ex reaches out? You say you are not ready to speak yet and that you'd like more time to focus on yourself. This will let your ex enjoy the space from the breakup and also let you heal and get your strength back. It's a win-win for both of you. Especially for you, because you'll handle the reach out maturely. You'll show you are not interested in being friends or conversely enemies. You'll prove you are strong and confident. You'll give your ex what he or she has asked for. Lots of time to enjoy life without joy. You'll allow yourself to detach and feel better. You'll realize your flaws and improve them. You'll get a fresh perspective on the relationship and realize your ex's flaws. You'll get over your ex. The reason why ignoring your ex by going no contact is powerful is that it can make your ex respect you and think more fondly of you. Of course, it won't make your ex come running back, at least not right away, but it will make you more attractive than ignoring your ex's efforts or begging your ex for another chance. No contact will essentially help you keep your dignity and pride and let your ex process whatever he or she needs to process. One day it could also allow your ex to let go of all the bottled up negativity and make him or her crave your happiness, health, and fortune and come back to you. So if you're wondering why ignoring your ex is powerful, know that ignoring your ex the right way, that is by focusing on yourself, can let your ex enjoy the newfound freedom and stop your ex from thinking poorly of you. With a little bit of luck, it can also make your ex curious about you and cause him or her to reach out and ask to get back together. So to get back together in the future, therefore, you must not ignore your ex or talk to your ex. All you must do is acknowledge your ex as a human being, because that's what strong people with moral values do. Another reason why ignoring your ex by doing no contact is powerful is that it depicts strength, confidence, independence, and everything human beings find attractive. It says that you've got your emotions under control and that you aren't thinking about being with someone who left you. You've got more important things to do, and that's what could pique your ex's interest when he or she gets through the 5 stages of a breakup for the dumper and gets into some kind of trouble. Many dumpers contact their ex when something goes wrong on their end. That's when they test the waters and or indirectly ask for help. With that said, let me give you some reasons why ignoring your ex is powerful if you do it the right way. Now, when does ignoring an ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend work? Sometimes ignoring an ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend does work, but for it to work, the dumper must still have feelings and expectations of the dumpee. The dumper must want to get back together. If the dumper doesn't want anything from you, you can forget about making your ex want you back. Your tricks just won't hurt your ex to make your ex see your worth and want to be a part of your life. So for your ex to take the ignoring personally and come back crying, your ex needed to have faked the breakup, pretended to leave you to gain power over you, or be so immature and insecure that he or she wants you back just because you look happy. So in simpler terms, if your ex is faking the breakup, your ex will come running back to you faster than greased lightning. Your ex will be afraid of losing you, especially to someone else, and will therefore want you back very soon. But if your ex gets his or her ego broken and comes back out of pain rather than love, then your ex likely won't stay with you for long. He or she will stay only for as long as his or her ego is hurting. Once your ex's ego heals, your ex will leave once again and cause you pain. So ask yourself this: is it worth playing games with your ex? If your ex is pretending to be over you, wouldn't it be easier to be mature about it and let your ex realize your worth on his or her own? If you ask me, it would be many times easier to let your ex miss you and come back to you when his or her separation anxiety builds up. Not only would your ex come back with minimum effort, but he or she will also discern your worth and capabilities the right way by seeing you focus on yourself and enjoy your life. So if you want to know why ignoring your ex is powerful, keep in mind that it's only powerful when it involves a powerless person. It can make your ex afraid of losing you. But when your ex is happy with the breakup and in full control of his or her emotions, ignoring is the weakest and probably one of the most disgruntled things you can do. So stay in contact forever. If you want your ex to respect you, you'll have to stay in no contact. Stay in no contact indefinitely. Not for 30 days, not for 60 days or 90 days, but forever. Your ex needs time to get through all the negativity and figure out if he or she wants you back. If you play silly games and try to rush your ex, you'll be met with resistance and bring suffering upon yourself. So don't think that your ex will want you back simply by ignoring your ex. If it were that simple, you could just get revenge on your ex and watch your ex move mountains to make the pain stop and be with you. I've mentioned this in dozens of my videos, but I'll say it again. Your ex will want you back when he or she gets hurt and realizes that leaving you was the worst decision of his or her life. I can't say if and when your ex will come to this conclusion, but if you follow the rules of no contact and avoid making as many post-breakup mistakes as you can, you'll start feeling better, and so should your ex. That's when you'll be in the most attractive state. Keep in mind that it's your good behavior that will make your ex respect you and envy you, not the bad one. Bad behavior such as ignoring, trash talking, blocking, and trying to make your ex jealous is going to annoy your ex and reduce the chances of hearing from your ex in the future. So if you still have feelings for your ex and you're hoping for another chance, focus on building yourself up rather than putting your ex down. That way you'll grow from the breakup and might one day make your ex envious and nostalgic. It could take a long time before your ex discerns your worth. Heck, it might never happen. But whatever you do, don't think that ignoring your ex will trigger his or her hidden feelings and make your ex want you back. You will have a much better chance at re-attracting your ex if you learn why the breakup happened and become a better version of yourself. This episode, if you are reaching out to your ex and he or she is ignoring you, then it's time to stop. Clearly, forcing your way in is not going to get your ex to suddenly want to talk to you. When your ex is ignoring you and you're the one who keeps initiating contact, you're doing more harm than good. Every desperate attempt for attention is sending your ex further away. It's a hopeless lose-lose situation in which you are shooting yourself in the foot. And if you keep going this way, sooner than later, your ego is going to take a toll as you become impatient and desperate and obsessed for your ex's attention. So in this video, I'll tell you about the ways to make your ex stop ignoring you. So the only way to make your ex stop ignoring you, that is what we're discussing in this video. Sometimes less is more. And this is definitely one of those situations. Enter the indefinite no contact rule and wait for your ex to reach out to you first. Depending on how far you've pushed him or her by begging and pleading, your ex will most likely eventually reach out. The dumper is trying his or her hardest to stay away from you by being as independent as possible. So this person is incorporating new activities to keep himself distracted. And more often than not, this is only to prevent himself from dealing with the breakup. Number one, respect yourself. When somebody ignores you and thinks you're not worthy of their attention, you should remove yourself from their life. Stop showering them with attention, love, gifts, and everything you wouldn't want to receive from your enemy. They don't care about any of that, and it certainly isn't going to make them respect you, especially if you have never done these acts of affection before. Desperation is so unattractive. You must stop seeking validation from your ex out of self-respect alone, because you want to appear considerate of your ex and his or her wish for the breakup. You have to leave your ex completely alone. Letting him or her be will earn you some respect back and bring you a step closer to having your ex stop ignoring you. Number two, become independent. Independence is highly attractive. Your ex expects you to cry and beg for him or her to stay in your life. Trust me, despite your ex hating seeing you this way, he or she actually wants to receive that kind of unconditional love from you. When you cut that supply and put the attention on yourself, your ex is going to wonder how you manage to focus entirely on yourself. All of a sudden, your ex's importance will be at stake, and he or she is going to seek validation from you. Number three, start dating. Just because you're dating someone else doesn't mean you can't get back together with your ex. The new person can actually help you get close to your ex again, provided you play your cards right. Your ex has to find out about the new person you're dating on his or her own. This can be beneficial to your situation because it can entice jealousy and make your ex drop his or her defenses. There's no better way to knock your ex off the pedestal than to start dating someone else. When enough time has passed, your ex will be much more open to converse with you. Post-breakup emotions will have cooled off and your new partner may pose as a threat to your ex. He or she will want to be better than your new partner by constantly comparing him or herself to the new person. Even if your ex doesn't feel threatened by your new partner, he or she will think you no longer care. Because of that, you can start crawling back in your ex's life 1 inch at a time. You do that very slowly and inconspicuously. Number 4 way to make your ex stop ignoring you. Ignore your ex's provocations. If your ex is spreading rumors and spreads negativity, be the bigger person and ignore it. Tell your mutual friends what a great time you've been having and mention all the things you've been up to. Let them know you want only the best for your ex, despite all the bad things your ex has done to you. This will gain you loads of respect and might make your ex reconsider his or her actions. My ex is ignoring me from time to time. The reason why your ex could be ignoring you every now and then is that he or she could be relying on you for his or her issues. It is possible that whenever your ex and the new partner argue, you become the next available supportive person. This may not be such a bad thing, as you can prove to be reliable to your ex and show off the new and improved version of yourself. Sooner than later, your ex's rebound relationship will fall apart and you will be the familiar person to run to. The number 5 way to make your ex stop ignoring you: give your ex space. Probably one of the most important tips to make your ex stop ignoring you is to give him lots of space and cease making him angry. Respect your ex and he will automatically respect you back. Just let your ex be for a while and take care of yourself. You should have been doing so from the very start. This is the advice most people struggle with. Emotional self-control is needed to succeed at anything in life, and giving your ex space is one of the hardest things to do. So to get your ex back the right way, you are going to have to be okay on your own. Your ex has to feel that you are no longer attached to them. Otherwise, it can never ever work. So if it does work by some miracle, he or she will hold all the power in the relationship and control you like a puppet. Independence and strength can attract your ex back, not neediness and clinginess. So this is the extra tip. Become successful if you want to make your ex stop ignoring you. Once you've created enough space, you can apply certain tricks and techniques to make your ex contact you first. All right? To make your ex contact you first, you can apply certain tricks and techniques. You can do so by becoming a living success. Excel at life so much, your ex will become envious of your new life and your accomplishments. Get a degree, a house, a car, a promotion, start your own business, get fit, help people in need, become a rock star. Your ex needs to see you thriving without him or her. There's so much you can do to impress your ex-partner. The only question is, how far are you prepared to go? Well, we'll find out whether narcissists care if you move on. Narcissists are too self-centered and egoistic to hide if they care if you move on or not. Narcissists constantly seek attention from you and they try to prevent you from moving on. It doesn't matter whether you are broke whether you broke up with a narcissist or if the narcissist broke up with you. Ignoring a narcissist is one of the most powerful techniques you can apply to keep a narcissist at bay. So, go indefinite no contact as soon as the relationship ends and don't reach out under any circumstances. In most cases, narcissists are only seeking validation by making you think that they are madly in love with you. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Because narcissists only care about themselves and their feelings. Narcissist's priority list is him, himself, only him, still him, just him. Maybe the cat, and finally maybe you. Now, do narcissists care if you move on? That's the question I'm asking you again. Narcissists, they still care to some degree. It may not be for the right reasons, but narcissists are still emotionally invested, even if you have moved on. So, let me give you some signs that narcissists still care if you move on. Calling and texting. The first most common sign is calling and texting you non-stop. A narcissist is as starving for attention as a mosquito is thirsty for blood. The narcissist will call you out of the blue throughout the day, demanding attention and validation. Narcissists exhibit this sort of behavior to hold on to their power and feed their diminished ego. You can expect late night calls, texts, voicemails, voice messages, and in some cases even videos. Prevent yourself from getting spammed and annoyed by blocking the narcissist number. An even better option is to change your number and eliminate other possibilities of the narcissist reaching out to you, such as using the narcissist friend's phone. The other sign that the narcissist cares if you move on. Social media. The second platform that a narcissist will use to get in touch with you is social media. It is fast, free, and easy to exploit, which is exactly why a narcissistic person will use it. Sending more messages to you is going to be a piece of cake for the narcissist, because he will make sure you become aware of his perpetuating poking. So to the narcissist, it's just another desperate attempt to shove his way into your life when you clearly wish to stay away from him. So the harder you try to get rid of the narcissist, the more he will force himself closer to you. A narcissist does not take no for no. Alright? He does not take no for an answer. It is very likely a narcissist will check your online status on social media. Like, you will like it, you will comment, and will do other things to confuse you. What that does to you mentally is it causes you to think about his actions and contemplate the reasons behind his actions. Needless to say, it is just another way for a narcissist to elicit a reaction out of you. So delete and block your ex-narcissist from social media to move on properly. The sign that a narcissist cares about you is begging and pleading to reply or take a narcissist back. They'll do that. So this is another way to prove that narcissists care if you move on. Alright? They will go through the humiliation of begging and pleading to get your attention. They will reduce their self-respect temporarily in order to get it back tenfold later. For the narcissist, that is worthwhile investment. Now, don't get begging and pleading confused with normal post-breakup mistakes, because it's different with narcissists. Narcissists do it only to feed their ego and to control you once again soon. They will go to any lengths to prove to you how things will be different this time round. They will say and do what it takes for you to trust them again, until they win your trust so they can revert back to their destructive ways. So, the other sign that narcissists care if you move on is interfering with your new romantic life. So, do narcissists care if you move on? You ask. So, let me give you a sure reason. When you are seeing another person and appear happy without your ex, is when a narcissist will jump out of his hiding and interfere. Remember, a narcissist will try anything to seduce you and gain back control. The narcissist simply wants what he can't have. Now that you are interested in another person, the narcissist shows interest in you and wants to ruin your new relationship. Your happiness doesn't matter to him because he's full of conceit. Then the narcissist cares if you move on through stalking you. You may find yourself followed by a narcissist when you are out and about, doing your own things. All of a sudden, he inadvertently bumps into you and is incredibly shocked to see you. In just 2 seconds, you can immediately tell he's faking his demeanor. He will likely try to make plans with you since it's been a while when you last spoke. All of a sudden, he seems like a new person, or at least he wants you to think that. So using a false identity by portraying himself in the best light possible is what he thinks will reel you back into his hunting zone. We all know people don't change that quickly, and especially that much. So don't be deceived by his sudden transformation. Instead, be wary of his sly intentions. If you assume you are being stalked by your narcissistic ex, avoid him like the plague and never talk to him even for a second. In case he takes it too far and threatens your privacy, you can always inform his friends and family. And if that doesn't work, you should involve the police and file for a restraining order. There's only so much stress you should tolerate in life. Do narcissists care if you move on? The other sign is that he's ranting to his or your friends. Often after a breakup, couples get themselves involved in some sort of post-breakup war. It is basically a competition to see who is living a better life. They'll put each other down to their friends by stating all the negatives and blame each other for their problems. After a couple of weeks, this sort of behavior will normally stop. Not for a narcissist though. He's stuck in a loophole, unable to move on due to his bruised ego. Narcissists are like babies. They throw tantrums when things don't go the way they planned, and they start blaming others for their misfortunes. Your friends will hear all sorts of lies about you, and maybe even some partial truths. The narcissist will try his hardest to win the sympathy from your common friends and turn them against you. The best thing you can do is to ignore his provocations and avoid making any rude remarks which could make you look bad. So if you can, laugh it off and joke about it. The person who handles it better will appear as the person telling the truth. So don't let his narcissistic traits get under your skin. Instead, act as if he never said anything. Ignoring a narcissist is the best gift you can give him. So do narcissists care if you move on? If you are looking for a short answer, then yes, narcissists are all about them and nothing about you. They always put themselves first and you last. The same applies to when you move on. They want to be the ones who moved on first. To be completely honest, they don't want you to move on at all. You moving on first will mean they end up losing all the power they had over you. Instead, they would rather string you along to satisfy their ego. They don't want to see you move on, especially not before they do with a new person. Narcissists always want to be number one and absolutely despise any sort of rejection. You moving on would imply you are more important than them. A narcissist won't tolerate that kind of behavior from you, and they will lash out in an angry way.